Welcome back, you're watching Overdrive. Now, performance and sustainable mobility have always been at war. Well, BMW, wanting to stay true to their motto of sheer driving pleasure, are determined not to compromise on either. And their new hybrid sports car, the i8, is Exhibit A of how they intend to be gentle on the environment while making seriously fast cars. So here's Shumi with his first drive report of the BMW i8.
It's been 3 years since BMW announced that they would do a new brand of cars, the iCars, cars that wouldn't be powered by petrol or diesel, but they'd explore alternative fuels, alternative construction techniques. And today I'm here in California with the flagship, the new i8. BMW decided that current construction techniques weren't good enough for a car like this, so they invented a whole new thing called the Life Drive thing. Now the Life Drive thing, this is the life unit. You can see all this carbon fiber here. That's where the passengers sit, that's where the seats are, that's the life unit. The rest of it is the drive unit. That's the bottom of the car. It's got an aluminum frame, it's got space for 2 engines, that's right. This car has 2 engines. There's a 1.5 litre triple cylinder petrol engine in the back here, and there's an electric motor that drives the front wheels. So effectively, in all electric mode, this is a front wheel drive car, and the rest of the time, this is 4-wheel drive.
It is a pretty involved project too. While the first the i3 was an all-electric family hatchback, this one is a hybrid. But behind the car itself, the factory that makes the i8 runs on renewable energy. Various materials it uses are organic, recyclable, biodegradable or otherwise green. And instead of creating a traditional shape for the car, BMW designers went all the way to the other side and created this lovely design that is immediately recognizable as a BMW car, but at the same time nothing like a current day BMW product. A blend of their identity as it is today and cues that clearly originate in their vision for tomorrow's car. As a finished product, the car looks impressive and manages successfully to suggest both performance as well as its green intentions. They have built something special.
I've always had an issue with BMW interiors because I think they're all a bit too similar. I understand why that is, because if you have similar interiors, you can get people to upgrade within the family but not make them relearn the interior just because they have a new car. So you get all of that new car thing, but you have a familiar set of buttons here. You already know what they do. In the i8, what I really like is that this is definitely a BMW interior, but it's perhaps the best interior there is because there are the familiar shortcut buttons and all of that, but it's clearly a futuristic, dramatic interior. The materials, the way the lines flow is incredible, and the way these two screens work, I'm seeing the economy screen right now, but there's a completely different display when I go to sport mode. So here's sport mode, you can hear the engine now. Now, what was a power reserve and a battery charging indicator is turned into a proper rev counter. I really like the way this setup works. I really like the way the information is presented because I have a lot of information coming to me, but I have it coming to me relatively subdued, so it's not pulling my eyes off the road. This is really nicely done. i8 is supposed to be a sports car. What that means is that the performance probably isn't something like a supercar. It's a lot of performance, but not outrageous amounts of performance. But dynamically, the car does have to be able to hold its own. And I'm happy to say that the Life Drive architecture actually gives this car a significant benefit. You see, the batteries of this car are sitting somewhere here down in the middle. They're low, they're heavy, and it allows this car to have a center of gravity which is significantly lower than most other cars. What that means is BMW can actually run pretty soft suspension comparatively speaking and still get no body roll from the car when you corner it hard. And I think that's a very interesting way to do a car, because now when you drive it, you realize that when I turn the steering wheel, let's say like that, there's no body roll, there's only response, and the chassis immediately changes direction without really the car working its suspension too much, and it feels absolutely tremendous to drive. It's like a very high-end, innovative, futuristic go-kart almost in terms of handling. Beautiful.
fact, information design was one of the things BMW had to deal with in the creation of the i8, and its need to let the driver know what was going on beyond the usual warning indications and road speeds. On top of that, the i8 is not expected to be a versatile do-it-all car at all. It's something specific, a sports car, and a very complicated sports car at that. Why? Well, because in comfort mode, it can run only on the battery up to 120 km per hour if there is charge. If there isn't, it can wake up the petrol engine to charge the battery. In sports mode, it can use both the power units if it needs to. Under braking, it can use regenerative braking to charge the batteries. There's a lot of stuff going on, and knowing all that action is happening is part of the coolness of the experience. I'm impressed with how easily and unobtrusively the car lets you know all that and the navigation information. But now, let's get back to the driving.
One of the things I've never liked about really high-tech cars is that manufacturers tend to go a long way trying to establish the fact that this is a completely normal car, and therefore the result, although very high technology and probably very effective, is also just like a normal car in many ways, and in that sense it's slightly underwhelming. That is one of the things I really like about the i8. It does go a long way in celebrating its uniqueness, in celebrating the distance the car has come and all the innovations that's in it. So yes, it drives like a normal car. It has a steering wheel, accelerator pedal, a brake pedal, just like a normal automatic car might. But you never ever lose the idea that you're driving something spectacular. It's never just another sports car. It's always something slightly more special. And I really like that. The i8 is spectacular. It's spectacular in the way it drives, the way it feels, the way it's constructed. But I think the best part is that it's coming to India, and you're going to get to buy one by the end of this year or maybe early next year. Toyota did try to sell the Prius in India as a statement car, as a hybrid, and that didn't really work. But I think this is the one that's going to.
Well, BMW will bring the i8 to India by the end of this year, and it will sport a heavy price tag. But as Shumi seems to be convinced, BMW will struggle to make as many i8s as people would want to buy. The future is here. I will leave you with that thought. But do remember, you can catch this episode as well as all our previous episodes on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, it's goodbye.